Our next question here, Jim, sent in to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com, is from Justin in Ashland, Kentucky.
Ashland, Kentucky, home of the Inner Geek. I encourage everybody to go to the Inner Geek comics, whenever you can. Again.
Not to be confused with the Inner Greek.
Who did that? That was. I announced my appearance at Inner Geek Comics, and somebody said, I'm sorry I missed you at the Inner Greek.
That was me, I think.
It might have been you, yeah.
What's your...
It was a noted bathhouse in Times Square, the Inner Greek.
What's your thoughts on why Scott Hall never achieved the world title or heavyweight championship? I remember the big push he had when he had his shot with Brett at the Royal Rumble, then eventually drifted to the Intercontinental spot, as well as the time he went against Sting in WCW. I always thought he should have been the main guy, I always thought he should have been the man during the 1990s, but fell short. I have noticed drugs and alcohol played a factor, but is there anything else preventing this push from all organizations?
Well, there were only two organizations that would have ever made Scott Hall a world champion, because it was either been the WWF or WCW.
Well, also, I guess he did get a pretty big push out of the gate in the AWA when he first.
Well, yeah, but he was just starting. He was green as grass, and they weren't going to put the belt on him when they had Bockwinkel and Hennig and, those guys. And then for the first, however many years he was in WCW with the revolving door of gimmicks, he was just an underneath guy. So really, when Vince pushed him as Razor Ramon, he was at a level to which he would be considered for the belt at, all things considered, but the timing was never there. It never came up before he left. Razor was not going to be the champion over the guys that were champion during the years that Razor Ramon was Razor Ramon. Then in WCW, well, the same thing is, even though he was an integral part of the NWO and Hall and Nash and Hogan, et cetera, are you going to put the belt on him when Hogan is there? Are you going to put the belt on him when Goldberg's there? Are you going to put the belt on him when Sting is there? And then that was it. He was really only, and part of it is that he didn't have to work in a variety of other territories and places or do independence or whatever, but he was never in world title contention in any other than WCW or WWF, and that was only from a period of 1995 to 2000. By the time he came back to WWE after WCW folded, that horse had left the barn. He was never going to be the champion at that point, and there you go. So it's not like he was just repeatedly turned down by everybody in the business. There was only two places that it would have even been a possibility. He wasn't over enough before the first WWF run, and he was nostalgia by the second one.